Welcome to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. It's good to be back. I took a couple days off. If you're just picking this up for the first time, I am the Desert Sun, and this is a channel I like to devote to explaining my journey in crypto, what's going on in crypto, in the cryptocurrency space, as well as the other places it leaks to, namely politics and the economy. I want to start off by just diving right into it. And this from Coindesk is that crypto booster Brian Quintenz to step down as CFTC commissioner, and that he'll leave on the 31st, which is later this month. Longtime crypto advocate Brian Quintenz plans to step down from his role as a commissioner of the CFTC, the Commodity Futures and Trading Commission, August 31st, and he announced in a press release on Wednesday. Quintenz said that he expects to announce a role in a private sector after his departure from the CFTC. He told the Wall Street Journal that he plans to keep innovation, particularly related to cryptocurrency and DeFi, which is decentralized finance, relevant to my career. It's no question here. When I saw that he was going to leave, I thought to myself, he's going to head to the private sector. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. And what he does, I'm certainly going to follow. If Quintenz moves into the crypto industry, it would follow a trend of former regulators taking leadership roles at crypto companies. Quintenz, who was first nominated by then President Obama and formally appointed in 2017 by then President Trump, is one of only two Republicans of a 5-seat CFTC. His absence will leave 2 empty seats on the commission. The other has been empty since January, the departure of Keith Tarbert. It says here that President Biden is reportedly planning to nominate Chairman Rostin Benham, a Democrat, to officially lead a CFTC. It'll be interesting to dive into the background and see where Rostin Benham is. Where he comes from. For those, who've been at least familiar with the CFTC, particularly with Brian Quintenz, he came out and this video was shared back at the beginning of this month. I'll share it again with you. This is a speech that he was giving to an audience at a conference regarding the role on enforcing cryptocurrency. And here's what he had to say.
So I think, generally getting back to, setting policy through enforcement, I think an optimal approach to regulation, especially of an incipient but growing market, is for the regulator to provide that market with clarity, with guidance, or even with some type of bright line test that gives some indication of the agency's potential interpretation of its own regulations. So,
yeah, he's speaking about the clarity that should happen in the crypto space, primarily with the SEC. Now, he had chimed in a while back, with regard to the CFTC's role in the crypto space, and even his former colleague Chris Giancarlo back earlier this month tweeted, "Only one U.S. regulatory agency has experience regulating markets for Bitcoin and crypto, and it's not the SEC. It's the CFTC. If the Biden administration is serious about sensible cryptocurrency regulation, it needs to nominate a CFTC chair, which has not happened yet." It's quite possible that, looking at it, if one were to look at who is in the space, Brian Quintenz as commissioner for the CFTC, was he in the queue to be nominated? I don't know. A lot of people were saying it was Chris Brummer, who, speaking of which, actually tweeted earlier today, or actually earlier last week, the CFTC is indispensable in the conversation on the regulation of crypto exchanges. Giancarlo, talking about Chris Giancarlo, and CFTC Quintenz, which is Brian, are correct in that it's not a partisan or ideological issue. It's just kind of how the law works. Chris Brummer was, mine and a lot of people's pick to be the CFTC chair. Like Gensler, and this is where I would be a great opportunity to offset. It comes from academia, Georgetown law professor in particular, who gives ample information and regarding cryptocurrency. Now, jumping over to where he came from and whatnot, a little bit on his background, is that he was actually, like the article said, appointed by Trump, propped up by Obama. He was an advisor and a managing a principal officer for Seculum Capital Management and advisor at Hill Townsend Capital. And also has here in his bio that he worked for Congressman Deborah Price several years ago, and ultimately becoming senior policy advisor. It's interesting, these a lot of the folks in the regulatory space do have a background as advisor to many folks in Congress. So it should come as no surprise when you see some of the interesting connections that happen. I had shared one before with Hester Peirce and I believe it was the senator from Alabama whose name escapes me. But in any case, you're going to find some interesting connections. This was from the release that they had for when Brian Quintenz was first nominated. President Donald J. Trump nominated Brian Quintenz, a former fund manager, consultant, and congressional policy advisor, to serve as commissioner on the Commodities Future Trade Commission, the White House said in a statement on Friday. And that was just the press release they had. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes, where he lands. Right now, Brian Brooks and Brian Quintenz, the two Brians, have left their roles. Quintenz as CFTC chair commissioner, and Brian Brooks is the head of Binance US. It would be interesting if the Bryans somehow ended up on the board someplace. I doubt it, but you never know. But I would say keep an eye where he's going to go. He's familiar with the regulatory side as well as private industry. So someone strong enough to see on a board in case you're out there and you're looking for someone, or you're looking to invest. It's a great place to look. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am wrapping it up. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you here soon.